Sales is, are we going out and solving someone's most critical problem? And then the technical knowledge always helped me in my sales. Because when I go for a sales call, for any of the customer's pain point, I had a kind of a solution.
Yeah.
So we got into this particular niche segment, so where very few people were there.
Okay.
And similarly, in terms of selecting the product, as an entrepreneur, you are not only responsible for yourself. Okay, you are responsible for minimum at least another 10 to 15 families which are dependent on you.
True.
Or it could be even hundreds of families which are dependent on you.
Yeah.
So you can't be very careless about your health. And one more thing happened during our research time is that wherever or whoever we talk to saying that I want to start a senior home, so always people used to say don't do that. Don't get into that. Out of 10 people, 9 people will say no. Okay.
Our aspirations as mankind is growing. We have begun to question ourselves and are trying to delve deep within to understand ourselves and to grow. We want to operate out of a deep sense of purpose. We have realized that humans can alter their lives by altering the attitudes of mind. Here's an attempt to connect, share, get some of the successful people to open up and in the process learn and find the best within us. An attempt to delve into their minds, thought process and attitudes. How they think, feel, operate, and what are the habits that make them who they are. In the process, accept ourselves with all our insecurities, vulnerabilities, fears, and work towards transforming ourselves and in making ourselves our better version for today and tomorrow. I'm Satish Rao. I'm a vlogger, abundance crusader, and I'm passionate about bringing in abundance in all areas of our lives.
Anatharam Varayur is a first generation entrepreneur who started his business in 1989 at the age of 23. He is the co-founder of Webcom Information Technology Private Limited and Manasum Buildtech LLP, which is into creating luxury retirement homes for senior citizens. While his business was computer networking, his passion was always human networking. Anatharam is also the executive director of BNI in Bangalore along with Balaji. There are over 2,300 business owners in BNI Bangalore. Anant is also a runner and has done several half marathons. He is also into fitness in a big way and is passionate about encouraging business owners to take fitness seriously. Sumati is his life and business partner. This couple had a dream to start a retirement home project for senior citizens attached with an orphanage so that the seniors get the company of their grandchildren and the orphan kids get their grandparents.
So Anatharam, welcome to the Abundance Show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So your business journey, entrepreneurial journey at the age of 23, so early.
Yeah.
How did it start?
Okay, so to be precise, it was not a planned one. So it just happened probably by accident. What happened, I was working for the Mumbai-based company. So then this company had branches in Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai and a couple of other places. So on one fine day, all of us, we got a shock that they wanted to wind up their South India operation. So at that time, like we were all worried. I mean, in fact, some of my colleagues, they were quite worried that they were all going to lose the job.
Yeah. And how long were you in that job?
We were there hardly for about 1.5 years, must be. Okay, so 1.5 years, I think. So and then they said that we are going to close down and things like that, start looking for the job. So then some of the customers which this company was maintaining, we were into computer maintenance and all. So we had very reputed customers like University of Science, HAL and things like that. So these customers were brought by us. So then I was also worried, like, I mean, if we suddenly stop and then our reputation will be spoiled and things like that. So then myself and my wife Sumati, at that time we were not married, so she was in Chennai and so myself, she and one more of my colleague. So all three of us, we decided that okay, why not we take over the South India operation and then we'll start. Okay, then I went and approached, because I was taking care of Bangalore region, so I went to my other colleagues and said, in case if I take over and start the same services, will you support me? All of them, initially they were all very skeptical. You're such a young guy and then what is that you can do?
Yeah.
And then in fact I had some of the BTech and even MTech guys who were working there. So they were all thinking that whether I can really do this. So, but I gave them a confidence that it is possible, and then I gave them a kind of a chart which could say that okay, their salary and all will be intact and it is taken care. So then immediately they gave me the support, and then we started. Then I asked my the company, is it okay if we can take over? So they were more than happy because if they don't service the customer for the rest of the time, even they will be in trouble. So they said, okay, somebody is taking over, so why not? So that's how I started. And then initially, in fact, as soon as we started, we had 2 branches, Bangalore and Chennai, and then we expanded to Mumbai as well in the first year.
Okay, this was into computer maintenance.
Computer maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were maintaining all the mainframes and mini frames in those days, big ones. Yes.
Yeah. So Anand, what you're saying is at the age of 23, when the company closes, you have the attitude and the confidence that you can take over the company and do the operations for South India. So what was it at the age of 23? What was it really new that gave you that confidence to step ahead and say, and for the people who are there, MTechs who are maybe much more qualified than you, to believe you and come and join you?
Okay, so what happened in our company, we had mostly we were, as I told, we were maintaining the computers. Predominantly we used to call those in those days as mainframe computers, and then the minis and things like that. So they were all very huge capacity computers in those days. So we had right from all types of people working for us, like as I told, one person was MTech and the other one was the BTech, and then we had a diploma on various people we had. So as far as I am concerned, first thing is for me the biggest thing was, okay, I need to take care of this customer because these customers are brought in by us, so we can't leave them high and dry. If I go out and then find my own employment and all those things, so that was not okay for me. Second one is, what about these guys? Okay, the people who are working here, and then even suddenly getting the employment in those days is not so easy. So with these two things, the moment it came to my mind, so we decided, okay, let's, why not, we can do the, we ourselves, we can start the maintenance.
And it was only 1.5 years into this company?
Yeah, I was 1.5
Prior
years.
to that, what was your background?
Prior to that, I was with the Indian School of Science, IAC, for about another 1.5 years or close to 2 years.
In similar field?
Yeah, I was working for a defense project there. It was called as Adaptive Antennas for Radar Communication. So that project was about a 4 years project, but we are more or less, I had completed the project in about 2 years kind of thing. So before that I had a sales job with the HCL. So HCL, that was a fantastic, that was a first job in my career. Immediately, I did my diploma actually, by the way. So I immediately on the last day of my exam of the diploma, same day I joined this company, I went to Delhi. So HCL gave a fantastic sales training and all. If you know that they have an amazing training system. So then I was quite very successful in sales in Bangalore when I came back. Always performing on the top, and I used to finish all my targets in time. So but somehow I was always feeling that I want to do something on a technology side. So then moved to IAC, worked for this project, and then when even I wanted to leave IISc actually to join this private company, but at my home, my parents were totally against it because IISc is a government kind of a job, so why should you leave that job? And then they were not agreeing at all. But somehow for me, I wanted to join some private company and then explore more and things like that. So then they kept on opposing, but one day what I did is, I just resigned the job. In fact, I joined this company, this private company I joined, and then resigned the job there, and then came home, and I told them that I left the job, and tomorrow morning I need to go to Chennai for reporting. So then they could not say anything. So that's how I resigned my IAC job. So then I came here. And but the next one is even this company been 1.5 years since they wanted to wind up. So then probably all these things gave me a courage that yes, I can do something on my own.
So Anand, so at this young age of 23, doing something on your own and having so many people report to you, So as I understand, you have technical as well as sales background, both background I got, which is very essential. My understanding is that for business, especially as a business owner, you need to have sales background. You need to have sales in your blood. So how would you agree? Would you tend to agree to that statement, or how was it in your experience?
Yeah. See, sales means it is not that we have to just somehow go and con somebody and then get the deal done. Okay, that's not sales. So sales is, are we going out and solving someone's most critical problem? Okay, that's what my word sales means actually. So probably the technical knowledge was a kind of a blessing for me. So what I used to do is, like, whenever I have to go to a customer, always we will pick up. So what is their most pain point? Okay, so that point I used to pick up and then say that, okay, here is the solution for that. So when you go with a solution for customers' most pain point, so I'm sure your sale is done. Okay, that's how one of the best organizations as my customers. In fact, whenever I used to go to any other customer, I used to always tell them that these people are my customer. That is, I'm talking after 20-25 years of my journey in the IT field. So I used to tell somebody that these customers, like I had customers like every other government organization, the defense establishments in Bangalore was our customers. Like, for example, ADE, LRD, GTRE, CAPS, CARE, ISRO, ISTRAC, HAL, BEL, BHEL. So you name the defense organization, they were my customers. Okay. So always I used to tell them, so all these people are my customer either from the day I started the business or from the day they started their IT department. Okay, so that was the bonding we had. So that means always we used to go and solve a critical problem, and then we never looked back for to sell something to somebody. Okay, so that gave us a real boost. Okay, and then the technical knowledge always helped me in my sales, because when I go for a sales call, for any of the customer's pain point, I had a kind of a solution. Or even if I don't have a solution at that time, I had the intention to come back and learn and go back. So in my company, I was the Cisco certified person for both designing and the execution, and similarly IBM certified. So I had almost all kind of Microsoft certification. Every other certifications I had personally. So that way, even my other sales guys, later stage, okay, they can't do any, they can't play with me. Neither they other my support guys or technical guys. Okay, they can't play with me because they know that, oh, Anand knows this, okay, knows this subject. So that helped me a lot throughout my journey.
So how was the initial phase of your this journey of starting up this company?
Yeah, initially it was quite tough. I mean, like, see, today the word startup is big thing, right? Like when you are a startup company, it's such a big pride. So in those days, a new company, we were never called as this word called as startup. So when I say that I started my business newly, means nobody will give you the business. Okay, nobody will give you the order. They will say, boss, you are such a new company, I can't trust you. Okay, I can't put my IT department on your shoulder. Okay, so it was, first thing is getting the customer itself is one difficulty. Second thing is I am a first generation entrepreneur in my family. My father was working in the IT factory. So he was an employee of ITI, and then so he has been in a government service throughout. So that way there was no capital also, okay, for me to start the business. So whatever couple of us we had, about couple of months salary, so that's the one we put it and started our operation. Then to getting the OD or getting the loan from the bank was not a small thing. Forget about OD. Like getting the telephone line. Okay, in those days, to get a telephone line, I had to wait for about 3 years to 6 years kind of a thing. Okay, a landline. Okay, so then in fact, finally, what I did is I straight away went to the in those days DOT, Department of Telecom. So the chairman, I think he was there, and one Mr. Murthy, if I remember. So we gave an application saying that we are starting a company. Please give us at least a temporary connection. So we took the temporary connection for about 6 months. Then we kept on renewing it. So even the telephone getting was a challenge. Okay, and then of course later the bank finance. So we struggled a lot. Of course, we went to so many banks, and then So initially we could not get, and finally again here who came to our rescue was our customers. So we signed up initial some AMC contract with the advance from the customer. Okay, Union Bank was one of the customers. So they gave us an advance. So that's how we started the business.
So how did you take this company to the level that you envisioned for this company? What did you do?
Yeah. So first thing is we always we were trying to choose our where we want to play. Yeah, they keep saying no, you have to choose your battle. Okay, so that way, so we always decided that okay, where we want to stay. Like for example, in the IT field, it's a very vast one. So even though I started as an AMC, computer maintenance, so then we were into the assembling of computers and things like that, because those days the assembled computers were becoming a big thing.
Yes.
Then slowly we thought that that place is becoming crowded. So then we got into the networking, computer networking. So where hardly any players across the country was there. So what we decided is we wanted to start the computer networking. In fact, when I took the first networking order, I had to import the fiber and then airlift the fiber cable. Okay, so probably we were the first people to airlift the fiber cable in those days. Okay, so that early we started the computer networking. So so that gave us much ahead of the market. Okay, and then so then there is no looking back.
So from servicing into assembling.
Yeah. Then we got into the computer networking. That's when we did the networking of almost every other public sectors in Bangalore. Not only that, across India, like most of the power plants, whether it is Bunchaha, Kehalgaon, Vidyachal, Rihan, Ramagundam, Paras, Parli. So you name the power plant, we have done the networking. Okay, so we got into this particular niche segment, so where very few people were there. And similarly, in terms of selecting the product, so we were partners for Cisco. So we were one of the largest selling partners to the Cisco. Because in computer networking, you have the switches ranging from 1 lakh rupees or even 10,000 rupees.
Yes.
So where do you want to work? So when I work with Cisco, so that means I have very few players. Okay, only certified partners can sell that. So that way I had very few competitors there. So this is how always gave us a good, in terms of both the top line and bottom line, we had a good thing. And then later, we tried to expand the business across the country. So then we saw one company which was, they had about nearly 20 branches across India. Okay, and then we had only one branch. So then we decided, okay, why not go ahead and then acquire that company. So then we went and had a talk, and then we took over their operation. Because we could not merge these two companies for the same, so we took over their operation. And then we had now suddenly all of a sudden we had 16-20 branches across the country. So this is how we expanded. And mostly, probably at this point of time, then we went to the bank help with the ODs and other things. So for which every time the bank, when you go to a bank, they will ask for the collateral. So then that's how we also ended up buying good properties. So that we always used to give it to bank.
Collateral.
Yeah.
Right. So basically you would select your niche have a very discerning eye for getting the niche, and then play on that field in that niche. And then in that also you would like to take products and companies that are really super niche.
Correct. And as I told, go to the customer with an intention of solving their most critical problem.
Right.
Okay. That's how.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So Anant, you are also the executive director for BNI Bangalore.
Okay.
So how did you transition or get into BNI?
Yeah. So because since I was handling later with in my own company the sales, and then so I was always quite passionate about networking. I'm not talking about the computer networking now. I'm talking about human networking.
Right.
Okay. So I always used to go and attend lot of seminars and things like that. Okay. And then in one of those event, I came across a gentleman from Malaysia.
Okay.
So he talked to me about BNI. So he said there is a networking organization like this where you can expand your business, and so they work with a philosophy of giver's gain, and so all these things he had talked to me. Then I was quite fascinated. I said, wow, this is fantastic. Then why not let me explore that? And then I wanted to join them. So as far as BNI Bangalore is concerned, like as I told that there was a person who came from Malaysia. So then he talked to us about BNI. So then since there was no BNI in Bangalore, so then I asked him like, where do I check it out? So then he said, you have to go to Mumbai, you have to travel to Mumbai to see the BNI.
Okay.
So then we went all the way to Mumbai to see a BNI chapter in Mumbai. And then, so naturally the first thing was we want to start this in Bangalore. So we came back and then we talked to the couple of our friends. In fact, similarly, like me, Balaji and Mac, and then we had one more person called Varma. So all of us, we went to Mumbai separately, and then each one of us, we witnessed the meeting, and then came back. Okay, and then Yap put us together, and then he said, all of you together should start BNI. And then later he was also about to join us, but because of some other technical issue, he had to go back to Malaysia. So then 4 of us, we joined together and started. So here also, if you look at the very, the how it happened is because we spotted the opportunity first. Okay. So like I was telling you earlier, so whichever we wanted to be in the niche segment or away from the crowd. So since like in any technology field, so we used to keep finding the opportunity first.
Early.
Okay, early, like in the networking, or later I moved on to the CCTV. So everywhere we were the kind of pioneers. So probably here also same thing helped me. So we spotted this and then we started BNI. So at that time I never knew that it can grow so big. So now we have about 59 chapters and 2,300 entrepreneurs. So what is most satisfying is like we are able to make a difference in someone else's life. Okay, that's the one. Like as in my previous journey, I was telling that we are solving some of the niche problems. Okay, so exactly here in BNI also. So we are solving a very, very niche problem of a small and medium company, right? SMEs. So the biggest challenge for an SME is what? Acquiring a new customer. Acquiring a new customer or a business is the greatest challenge. So the BNI is solving that. Okay, so that's what exactly attracted me towards that. And then that's how it started.
And also I hear that most important thing besides the business aspect, in terms of personal growth for the business owners is also huge, because you get exposure to so many business owners at one go in one platform. I think it's a very good goal.
Because in one chapter there are people from every other field of business.